Blighty, back in the homeland, and on a bit of a family visit, and I thought, well, why not buy a car to bring back to France with me while I'm here. I kind of always wanted a TVR S. They'd been on my radar for years and years and years, but I'd never quite found the opportunity to actually go and buy one. So today, that's what I did. I went and bought one. I just picked it up. I'm near Bristol and I'm going to road trip it directly back to France. So I'll show you what I've bought, and then we'll get on the road. It's a TVR S290 Series 3. And what attracted me to this car was, well, firstly the fact that it's an S3, because I think they're a bit nicer than the S1 and S2. And secondly, this lovely metallic green colour and a cream interior. So it ticks all the boxes there. The bodywork is a little bit, what should we say? I mean, it looked lovely in the pictures, they always do, don't they? But there's little cracks and scratches, and yeah, it's presentable enough, but hey ho. These have the 2.9 Cologne engine with EFI, which is another reason why I wanted the 2.9 version found in the S2 and S3, because you get, well, the slightly nicer 2.9 engine and EFI instead of the mechanical fuel injection. Also on the S3 you got this updated dashboard, which is a bit prettier. I do like the way the instruments look. From a quick look over the car, I drove it a few miles, it seemed to run okay. It sounds alright, it runs about as good as we can hope for, I think, with a TVR. First thing I looked at when I walked up to the car, oh, those tyres look nice and shiny, don't they? There's the date code, 2002, lovely. Why do I always have to end up with cars with ancient tyres? It's so annoying. Got some Pirellis on the back here. Can't see the date code, but they're ancient as well. Another problem I've noticed is, you probably can't see it under there, it's too dark, but the rear main is leaking and drips directly onto the exhaust here and burns off, and there's some of it blowing back there as well. So we've got enough oil in it for now. Hopefully that doesn't get worse, because that could be very annoying. Let's have a look under the bonnet, make sure we have got enough oil. Quite funky the way the bonnet's open on these. This apparently has got a kit, some sort of hinge kit that lets the bonnet open up further, because before they'd sort of come to there. It'd be quite annoying to work on. What have we got? Got some brake fluid. Haven't looked in the coolant because the engine was hot when I was picked up. That belt, the fan belt, is rubbing on this coolant hose, so I might try and adjust that a bit so it doesn't rub a hole in it. But yeah, there we have the mighty 2.9 Cologne. It's got some nice TVR rocker covers on it. But yeah, this is much better than, in my opinion, this is much better than the mechanical injection. Got the EFI, fairly modern injection system. I've got electronic ignition as well. The two old-fashioned airflow meters there with the flaps in, if you remember those. So yeah, it's not too bad all in all. The chassis doesn't look too bad. The outriggers, as far as I can see, they're not brand new, but they're not rotten. What have we got here? Some catch cans someone's put on. Yeah. The radiator apparently has been tested. It's got silicone hoses installed throughout. It isn't losing a lot of oil yet, but it does leak straight on the exhaust, so it stinks pretty well. We'll just monitor it and make sure it doesn't get worse when it clicks in either side. But really nice place to be. Yeah, it's comfy. Door doesn't door hinges need a bit of adjustment. Yeah, we seem to have oil pressure, coolant temperature. Yeah, it's a 35-year-old TVR, isn't it? So if we get home without issues, I'll be very happy indeed. Very interesting negotiating tactic by the seller. We'd agreed a price on the phone. I thought we'd agreed a price. When I got there, that price had gone up by £1,000. So we sort of had to haggle for about half an hour, and we sort of ended up back at the price which we'd agreed, although a little bit more. So I've ended up paying more than I agreed to pay for this car, which is kind of weird. Doesn't really fit with my ethos, but I need to get back to Portsmouth, and I wasn't taking the train, so I had to fork out the dough. Anyway, next stop, petrol station. It's misfiring now. No, don't be like that. I've broken down already. I can't believe it. I've driven about 5 miles to get here. I just pulled over to film this little intro. And I started again with the camera rolling just to drive off. And it was on like 4-5 cylinders. I drove across the car park and it spluttered and died. And I've just started again and now it's fine. Okay. The gauge says a little under half. He did warn me not to trust the gauge below a quarter, which is sort of standard for an old car. So it shouldn't be running out. The gauge is bouncing up and down, which means there's enough fuel in there to make the float slosh up and down. But anyway, it just started again now and it's fine. I don't know what to say about that. Doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. That's third. Maybe it's running out of fuel. It's half a mile to the fuel station. So I'll brim it with fuel and then see how much it takes, see how big the tank is. At least it drives pretty good. A little bit of play in the steering. You can always tell a car that's got ancient tyres, it doesn't, the ride is always a bit jittery and it just doesn't feel right somehow, but that's an easy fix anyway. It's a nice evening anyway for driving back to Portsmouth. It's only about a 2-hour drive. 2 hours if you don't break down. Who am I kidding? All right. All right, gas and go. Oh, I brimmed it and I got 41 litres in, and the capacity apparently is 52. And apparently all the S cars were 52. So it shouldn't have been out of fuel, should have had 10 litres left. So I don't know what to say about that. It's very weird indeed. But let's just pretend that never happened and keep going. I've got some snacks and some cold Costa coffee. These things are a caramel latte. That's a bit of a novelty to me. I don't reckon we could buy that in France. So yeah. What's it going to run like now? Oh, it's noisy here. Trucks. Oh. We've got a full set of cylinders and we got a good dose of smoke. TVR ownership is great. Yeah. What can I tell you? It's, you know, it's a TVR thing, I guess. I'm now telling myself I didn't just want to own an S3, I wanted to rebuild an S3 so I could have my dream S3 with everything perfect. If I went and bought a perfect one, where would I be on that dream? It's a lovely warm evening, I've got the top down and I'm cruising. So what if there's a few issues? That's a problem for another day. But it looks like we're just going on loads of back roads through lots of little towns, all quite pretty. That's fine by me. I'm happy just to cruise along the back roads, take my time. I'm in no great rush to get back because I'm staying the night in Portsmouth. Abby and the kids are over there. And we've got the ferry tomorrow, so no great drama to get to the ferry. It'll just be a few miles to get there in the morning. So we're just cruising tonight. Once we get out of town here, we'll open up the taps a bit. It is a really effortless cruising car, this. I'm actually quite liking it. It's got character as well. I'm not going to go too mad on my ancient tyres. Actually, I'm going to have a bit of a rant about tyres because I've bought loads of old cars in the UK and brought them to France. And invariably, they have some ancient tyres, and I'm happy if I get something made in the 90s, to be honest, because lots of the kit cars and things like that I've bought, they've got their original tyres that were fitted in the 80s. Don't know if you heard that. In the UK, we don't have a culture, unless some people do, but most people, if the tyre's got tread and it's not cracked to death, they'll just leave it on there forever. Whoa. I love the roads in the UK, by the way, they're super. So yeah, people don't really take very much notice of the age of the tyres or the date code. But then the other thing is that those tyres from the 80s, I don't know what they used in the rubber back then that's different, but they don't really, often they don't crack or perish. So they look fine, but they're not very grippy, I can tell you that. Goodness. It's not that fast, but it's got a good amount of shove to it. And a good amount of torque, which gives you that effortless cruising feeling. It almost sounds like a V8, the way they've done the exhaust. I don't know if the exhaust on this is original, but I think from the downpipes back it's stainless, I think. But it's not stupidly loud either, it's just right actually. Thought for a minute I'd lost my Ray-Bans, quite fond of those. Yeah, the ride would be improved no end with new tyres as well, because the sidewall, not only is the tread hard and not grippy anymore, but the sidewall is much harder, so it spoils the ride.
Turn left onto Branch Road.
Really? No. take me up. Okay.
Continue on Branch Road for 3/4 of a mile.
This is a Google special, this one, but maybe I missed a turning back along and it's putting me back on track somehow. It's one of those cars that it feels more planted the faster you go, somehow. I forgot to fix that coolant hose that's rubbing as well. Yeah, it'll be alright. When I started looking around for TVRs on this trip, at first I looked at the S cars, and there's quite a lot for sale actually. And a lot of them I noticed have been for sale for a long time. So I don't know about the prices, but I felt like people were probably asking a bit too much for them. Which is sad because actually it's a great car, but they're not worth a fortune. And I noticed actually you could get a Chimera for sub 10 grand, but those are the cheapest ones, and they're not going to be the best ones, are they, if we're honest? And the other thing that puts me off a Chimera is that you're getting a Rover V8, and every car I've ever bought with a Rover V8 has needed engine work. Probably the camshaft is likely to be worn, that's quite a job, and then by the time you dig into that, you need, you're doing other stuff, you probably end up with a full engine rebuild. At least with the Cologne engine, just kidding, Cologne. The Cologne engine is pretty solid. I would say it's a bit longer lived than the Rover engine from my experience of these things. It's fair to say that the parts are a bit more expensive for a Cologne. A bit thinner on the ground, the bits and bobs. But yeah, this one seems alright. I'm getting to really like this car. You can see its appeal. It's a proper sports car, a bit of muscle. Good reliable Ford engine with fuel injection. We've got 5 gears, we got no problem cruising at motorway speeds. It's pretty, it's rare enough to be interesting. Yeah. No, this is definitely a keeper, this one. It's going to need some time putting into it, not necessarily a lot of money, except for paint if I go down that route.
Exit the roundabout onto A36.
For my personal tastes, it's presentable enough that I wouldn't worry about it. If I came to sell it eventually, maybe I'd think about paint. But I like my cars to be mechanically spot on, but the aesthetics, don't want it too nice, I'd be afraid to drive it then. I don't know if you can hear the exhaust is quite leaky. I reckon probably where the downpipes join the middle section.
Make a U-turn, then turn right.
I've just stopped the car for a minute. Oh no, I'm in someone's way now. Well, that was weird. I just stopped for a minute to have a little break, about halfway back to Portsmouth now. And started again and drove off, and like before, I managed to drive about 20 metres and it sort of misfired and spluttered and stopped again. Ah, I know what it is now. I forgot to do the immobiliser. It's got one of those old school little fobs that you plug into a hole to demobilise it. And I reckon unless you do that, the fuel pump doesn't kick on. So that's why it runs for a few seconds, goes lumpy and dies, no fuel. That makes sense now. The towns in this area are very pretty. The roads are a bit battered, like everywhere. There's fuel stations everywhere, which is a nice change coming from France, where you can never find them or they're hidden. Young lad there, he's begging me for a little rev of the engine, so I obliged. Oh, this is Salisbury. No wonder it's pretty. I know this car's a 1990, but the Oasis CD felt just right for cruising along this evening. What? My phone says it wants to do an emergency SO. What? Hey, crack on, get these last 38 miles down into Portsmouth, and when we get back, figure out how to put the roof on, and time for a cold snack and bed, I should think. Still got my Oasis booming, and a bit of a sing-along to cigarettes and alcohol, as you do when you're on your own in the car. So yeah, all is good. All is good. It's a true great British classic sports car. And I would say go and buy one while they're still under 10 grand. I'd say 10k should get you a really nice one, wouldn't it? See that 70 there, is the exhaust annoying? That might get a bit annoying actually. Well, there she is, tucked up for the night. Got here without any further issues. Looks almost perfect in the dark, doesn't it? Hood's really nice, easy to put on. But yeah, that's it. I'm done for today. I'm off to Bedfordshire and see what fun and games tomorrow brings, as usual. I don't think we've been on this Brittany ferry before, have we? Must be one of their older ships. We're having a quick tour of the historic dockyard at Portsmouth. And this is the HMS, what was it?
Warrior.
HMS Warrior, what a beast. Steel ship, steam and sail powered. I think the hull is like 4.5 inches thick in places, and then another 2 foot of hardwood. What an absolute beast this thing was. Very cool. Here we have the heart of the beast. Quite a thing, huh? We're getting to the luxury end of things. Second lieutenant, fourth lieutenant, chief engineer at the end there.
Whoa. Yeah, my phone's going this way.
Okay, this is the captain's quarters. Now we're talking the real luxury. He's got a swinging hammock bed. And he's got the best view of the anchor chains. Full steam ahead. Direction France. Conquer the French again. Nah, only kidding. We're all friends now. This looks like a jolly, friendly little boat until you notice it's got a whacking great gun bolted on the front.
You know, like a pirate's, you know, sort of pistol there, but this thing would recoil heavily. So what I mean recoil, it comes back hard, so you probably run out of fingers. So what they've done, they've fixed this here. So when I say fire, you're going to keep your shoulder in there, okay? And I'll go 1, 2, 3, fire, and you pull the trigger there, okay? Okay. Wait for the bang, all right? 1, 2, 3, bang!
So it's a 1908, basically a ferry that acted between the big warships and the shore to ferry the captain and officers to and from the land. Steam powered, teak built, very cool. But yeah, the purpose of these boats was they carried a torpedo or two. They'd dash off, fire a torpedo at the enemy ships, and then dash back again before the enemy even knew what had happened. And the HMS Victory in the background there. So yeah, highly recommend a visit to the historic dockyard here at Portsmouth. There's a lot to see. We're only skimming the surface of it today because we've got a couple of hours to kill before the ferry. But you can easily spend a whole day here. Number 102, in case you were wondering. Okay, it's time to get to the ferry. First cold start. It's pretty good, no smoke. All right, let's get going. It's slightly concerning because there's always a bit of a queue, not always, but there's a bit of a delay on the M27, which we need to get back to the ferry port, but we've got a bit of time, we should be okay. I wouldn't be worried if I wasn't in a TVR, put it that way. Seems to be running pretty good this morning. The way the exhaust is configured, it's hard to tell if there's a bit of a misfire. I don't think there is. I seem to remember that the Chimera was a bit like the seating position in this car. You sit very low, you can't really see the front of the car at all, and the gear stick is set right back. So your arm's in this position where it sort of goes straight sideways, and your elbows at a right angle to meet the gear stick. The throw is quite short, so you have to sort of manhandle it through the gears a little bit. Alright, we've made it to the port.
Turn left to stay on Wharf Road.
That is always a relief. It's always a dilemma, I find, as you sit in a queue for the ferry. You're thinking, I should turn it off, but will it start again? And if I don't turn it off, will it overheat? I think I'll leave it running. Doesn't seem to have overheating issues, so no overheating issues, no brake issues. It's not bad, is it? The interior of this car is a real highlight for me, and I really like the TVR marked gauges before there. They look really nice. This vent, I don't know, looks like something from a Mark II Escort or something. And the gauges they're just angled slightly towards the driver as well. Got the old Lecky windows in this one. Got the good old TVR quirkiness. The socket comes out the side here, so it's like bang your knee straight into it. I suppose they weren't thinking of people putting cables in there. And then TVR's own dials here as well that are a bit wacky. They start over here and go, they still go clockwise, but they sort of start in a weird spot. And the clock is working. It's like a, what is it, like a Momo steering wheel or something. It's quite nice. But yeah, it's a nice place to be, all nicely stitched. It's all in pretty good condition, apart from the driver's seat, which is a bit tired. We've got good boom booms back there, they work well. See there? We're absolutely living it up here at the moment, aren't we? All the children have gone off to the cabin to watch the television. And it's a lovely, warm and still afternoon. And we're just sat on the back of the boat, soaking up the lovely sights of Portsmouth Harbour.
And our boat's a hybrid, it's very quiet.
Boat itself is very quiet. The only racket is coming from all the car alarms that are going off. It's always nice going out of Portsmouth Harbour. All the military boats, historic shipyard, private boat marina over there. It's really pretty, lots to see. Well, fired up and rolled off the ferry, okay? Ferry's in the background there. I thought I didn't have instrument lights working, but I twiddled around and found that this one turns them off. A bit like an aircraft where you can turn them off. The alternator light was flicking a bit, and I see now, looking at the volt gauge, it needed a rev to come on, but that was showing 13 volts earlier. The light isn't on. It's not charging, is it? Hold on, let's give it a bit of a rev, see if it kicks in. Nope. Get my headlights off for a minute. Yeah, it was a bit weird because, like often with these old things, when you start it and it idles, the light doesn't come. The light doesn't go off until you give it a bit of a rev. It gets to 2,000 RPM, and then the alternator sort of cuts in and keeps working. But at the moment, it's not working. We're actually staying about not too far from here tonight, about 10 miles down the road. So I guess I'll drive down to there. Maybe I'll stop and I'll just get through customs. Perhaps I'll stop and check, see if the wiring hasn't come loose or anything. But well, has the fan belt come off? That's the other thing. I wouldn't know until it overheats because we've got no power steering anyway. Yeah, I'll get through customs and see where we go, I guess. Just been sat here idling for a few minutes, and here we are charging now. But I'll tell you, part of the problem was, watch what happens when I plug my phone charger in here. that starts to drop down, not to where it was before. So TVR in their wisdom used the same power for the cigarette lighter as they used to power the gauges, which is, yeah, that's not ideal TVR, to be honest. You want a nice stable power supply to your gauges, in my opinion. Anyway, panic over, just sat here waiting, big long queue, really busy ferry actually, a lot of people on here. This phone charger gets really hot as well, it must be a high power one, but that charger obviously is not pulling the battery voltage down, it's just that the wiring basically is not sufficient to power everything at the same time. I'm not driving back tonight, so I'm not too worried about it being late and getting tired. I have done this trip home from this boat several times, getting in at 10 o'clock and a 4-hour drive home, and that is a killer. Anyway, let's get through this passport, customs control, and we'll be on our way. Well, good morning. I made it here to the overnight stop just fine. I was a bit waylaid at the port because I asked the customs if I could pay the import tax there and then. A bit easier to do that than faff around doing it later. And the folks there were kind enough to get that done for me. Today I've got just a 3.5-hour drive to get home. I've got backup support in the form of the Jeep and the wife and the kids over there. Levels are okay. I noticed I was really pushing my luck with where this belt rubs on the hose here. So I found a piece of, I don't know what that is, shoelace or something. And I've just pulled the hose to one side a bit, so hopefully that won't rub too much more. I was able to check the coolant for the first time because it's cold this morning and there's enough of that. I could have done it yesterday actually, I forgot. Gave it just a little top up of water, and the oil is okay, about halfway. There's a few drips underneath, a little tiny puddle, but we're not losing all that much. I just noticed it's got these catch cans here, and is one of them full? Yeah, one of them's 3/4 full maybe, so I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, otherwise we might be doing a little bit more sightseeing on the way. And yeah, time to crack on, I think.
Neon hums like a subtle thrill. Shadows dance on the windowsill. Concrete dreams in the glow collide. Breathe it in, let the waves decide. Street lights flicker, a Morse code plea. Whispers rise from the cracks in the street. Loose lip poets on cobbled ground. Every word a kaleidoscope sound. We're chasing night lights in the city. Spinning wild dreams out of pity. Every heartbeat's a brand new song. Time feels right, the world's not wrong.
Well, we're doing a little tourist stop in Bayeux, and we were going to have a look at the tapestry in the museum and all that, but there's a massive queue, so we're going to content ourselves with a walk around the cathedral here, an ice cream, and yeah, have a little mooch around. That'll be that, I think. Right, that's the touristy bit done. Back to the car. Now, roof removal. I haven't had to do this before. So I think the procedure is going to be key on, and I can release the boot, and then pop off the struts. What? Right, make sure the window doesn't. Make sure the window folds nicely, and then. Ah, okay, it's as easy as that. There we are, 182 miles home. The sun is shining, we're wearing sunglasses. We're in a classic British sports car. We got plenty of fuel, we got plenty of oil pressure. Have we got plenty of volts is the question. Seems like it. Even if that alternator is a bit dodgy, we're not going to be needing it too much in the daylight. Funny, I was thinking about when I did the intro, when I picked the car up, and then with the camera rolling, started up and drove off, and it spluttered out like it did a breakdown, just that immobiliser thing, I think. But I felt like the car was telling me it didn't want to go to France, because I'd actually just that second booked the ferry ticket as well. I felt like saying, don't worry, little car, you'll like it when you get to France. And I feel like he's enjoying it now. People always say to me, you're always driving around in convertibles, what about all the rain you get in Brittany? And I say, doesn't matter, just keep going. As long as you're above 50 miles an hour, it blows over your head. Putting my money where my mouth is today. We getting wet, Lewis?
Yes.
Yeah, anyway, we're not going to stop and put the roof on, so keep on trucking. 160 miles to go. Bit of wheel balance issues going on. Otherwise, cruising very nicely as usual. Just approaching the Department de la Manche. Well, we're going pretty good. We put down about another hour, cruising along really nicely. Actually, if it wasn't for the wheel balance issue, it would be the perfect drive, even though there's a bit of play in the steering column, I think. It drives straight as an arrow, lovely. Just that around, more than 60 miles an hour, and the wheel balance starts to get annoying. Get a good whiff of the oil now and again as it drips on the exhaust. That's the thing with the rear main leaking, you never know, although it's not a lot now, it could get a lot worse. But we've got enough oil, so just a quick break for us and some drinks from Action, and we'll be on our way again, I think. But you never know what fun things you'll find in Action. Leak repair spray, that was too much to resist. inspired by the Torturina's cam cover, a chrome spray paint. 2 of those to try out on something, and an Arizona green tea and honey. So there we are, about an hour to go. Get back on the road and final push for home. Well, that's a wrap on this one, and considering I bought the cheapest S3 I could find, jumped in it and road tripped it to France, I think I'm pretty lucky not to have many issues whatsoever. Yeah, I could have put my mum in this one and had her drive it over. Didn't really have any major dramas at all. Just a few, we'll call them TVR quirks that I had to figure out. Next video will be a full inspection of the car, make a list of everything to do with it. I want to bring it all up to a good standard and use it quite a bit. First job will be a set of tyres. Another really annoying thing is this door hinge is really worn and you have to kind of lift the door to get it to shut. That's very annoying. What else? Fix the exhaust leak. Some of you TVR guys will tell me to get to the rear main on these. Is it an engine out or can you drop the gearbox out? Fix the exhaust leak at the same time. I think the engine's healthy, but we'll do a compression check and a good look over it. If the engine did need to come out for anything, now would be the time. Reseal it all, paint it up, make it look nice. But basically, yeah, very happy with that. Check out my other videos for road trips with ropey cars, and there'll be more coming along very soon. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.